sticks to, eventually it gets so heavy that it falls to the seafloor, and it literally looks like it's snowing underwater. Okay, so it's called marine snow, and sponges can filter some of that out and clean up the ocean floor that way. They can also produce toxic chemicals. So sponges, if you think about it as an animal that doesn't move and doesn't respond, okay, that if it doesn't have any way to protect itself, it's going to be eaten like nobody's business in the ocean, okay, because everything will want to eat it. Just these lovely, delicious cells hanging out there with no way to protect itself, it would be gone. Luckily for the sponge, it actually has a way to protect itself, and it will produce chemicals that taste bad to other animals, so they won't eat them. Also, their spicules can provide some protection because the spicules are sharp, and so things don't want to munch on a mouthful of needles. All right. So sea turtles are one of the only things that can actually eat sponges. So because they have tough mouths to be able to eat those spicules. Also, here's something that's really cool. Sponges produce chemicals to prevent other sponges from settling around them. So these chemicals that they produce prevent cells from growing. Okay, they prevent the sponges from growing. We're actually using a bunch of chemicals that are produced by sponges in cancer research, because if you have a chemical that prevents cells from growing, what is the problem with cancer? Cells that grow too fast, right? So if you have a chemical that can prevent that, maybe the cure for cancer will come from a sponge. You never know. Wouldn't that be cool? So you never know. Okay. You can also use sponges for baths. Okay, that's like the one that I passed around, or like loofahs. So that's what you can use them for. Here's a couple different kinds that you can find. And they will also produce antiviral and antibacterial chemicals as well. Okay. So throughout these next couple of units, I'm going to do like specimen spotlights, where we can't talk about all of the different kinds of animals that are in each phylum. So I'll kind of highlight the really cool ones. So like next cycle, I'll do one on the Portuguese man of war, right, and the box jellyfish and stuff like that. Okay. But this one is the Venus flower basket. This is a deep sea sponge. It's a glass sponge. This is what it looks like. Okay. It's a glass sponge. So its spicules are made out of glass. It makes their spicules out of glass, and they all connect and fuse together. And this is what it looks like. Okay. What? So it's a glass sponge. Its spicules are fused together, and their spicules are actually fiber optic. Okay, so you can actually pass light through their spicules, and it travels through them. And so they're actually using these spicules as like researching fiber optics. What can we do to improve our fiber optics? And kind of cute, kind of creepy, but these are actually given to newly married couples in Asian cultures. So because they have these little shrimp that live inside of them. So they have like a male and a female shrimp that mate for life. And when they're small, they swim through one of the little holes of the sponge, and they live inside of the sponge for protection. Eventually, they grow too large to get out. So and they spend their whole life in that sponge together, and then they die in that sponge together. So it's given as a gift, like, you know, till death do you part, may your marriage last forever kind of deal. So, yeah, dead shrimp in a sponge is a